Welcome from Texas A&M International University, and on behalf of the College of Education and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins, and I'm joined by Ricardo Aquino. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Ricardo.
Yes, I am completing my 17th year of teaching. I decided to start my education administration 2 years ago, and it has been a journey, and I think it has been an exciting journey for me to start.
Right. So 17 years into your career, or like a couple of years prior to that, what made you decide that, okay, now is the time?
Yes, I think one of the things that once I started teaching, I wanted to get the experience of every single thing that happened, all the aspects in the school setting. Mm-hmm. So in this case, there was an opportunity about 3 years ago having to step out from being a teacher into the administration side. Mm-hmm. So in this case, there's a call, an instructional facilitator position. So I did apply. In this case, I was privileged to get in the position. So that position gave me the idea of all the aspects of administration. However, if I needed to move on, I needed to have a higher degree. So in this case, having the education administration, master's in education administration.
Okay. And then what made you decide that that TAMIU was the place to do that?
Yes, I've been part of TAMIU. I have my bachelor's from TAMIU back in 2016. I've been part of a lot of events that happen here on campus. I do come back to, and I know that TAMIU does a lot for the community. So I think this feels at home, and I love the community that TAMIU supports. So there was no other choice to come back to home.
That's fantastic. Once you got involved with the program, what did the administration do, or how did the community around your program make you feel like this was home?
Yes, I think that one of the things that helped TAMIU being felt at home is that many of my, in this case, administrators in my campus have come through TAMIU. Okay. So they have built that relationship with some of our professors. In this case, Dr. Villoria has been part of TAMIU, and there was something like, she's there to help you. You can ask her questions. So I felt confident to see that if I were sometimes have a question, that there should be no problem having that communication or build that relationship with her. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that my administrators had said, anytime you need any help, TAMIU is there to help you.
Fantastic. And then what about adversity? Once you were in the program, were there any things that were different from what you expected, potentially harder than what you expected?
Yes, absolutely. Having to have a degree back in 2006, coming back to being a student again, the adversity is going back and focus and being online. When I did my bachelor, yes, it was face-to-face. Now going back to having to do a master's online, it was getting to have the idea of the technology world. Yes, I am familiar with technology. I was a teacher, yes, and part of my job is to deal with technology. However, being a teacher, or being a student, in the administration, going back to the technology was kind of a little bit difficult, getting on the rhythm of assignments and stuff like that, and I think that was one of the challenges that I had.
Mm-hmm. And then what was the structure around you that helped you overcome those challenges?
Yes, I think that anything that happened with me in this case was a part of my family. I think my wife played a big role. She's also a teacher, and she did help me become a structure in that sense that, hey, you need to complete certain things before we do other stuff in this case, for our family. So having the support from my family and also the support from in this case, teachers, or in this case, professors, helped me a lot. They guided me through any questions that I had. Thank you. In this case, TAMIU has a chat or program that we can certainly ask them any questions, and that was easy to do. Anytime I had any questions, any concern, absolutely I reached through them, through those platforms.
Wonderful. What's next for you?
In this case, I'm blessed to have opportunities waiting for me. In this case, the next step for me is to fully be certified to be an administrator. There's passing the exam, the 268 exam, and the next thing is pass. I'll submit my PASO. So my next step within the next coming 3-4 months is to complete those following steps.
Okay, fantastic. Well, wishing you the best of luck with that. Any final thoughts to share with our
No,
audience?
and I thank you that I thank TAMIU for the opportunity and my professors to really guide me and support me through along my journey.
Absolutely. On behalf of Texas A&M International University and the College of Education and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins. Thank you, Ricardo. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Welcome. On behalf of Texas A&M International University, the College of Education and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins, and I'm here with Lizzy Sanchez. Lizzy, thank you for
Hi.
taking the time to join us this evening.
No, thank you. Thank you for calling in. For letting me ask me, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your program.
Okay. I'm a master right now. I got the master degree in leadership and administration, and my bachelor is in secondary math education, 8 through 12, and I've been a teacher for 10 years.
Okay.
So then after, I want to say 12 years after, I decided to change like a little bit and coming back to my master's, and I was still undecided what to go for, right? But then being there, okay, let me go for principalship. So
Okay.
I got there, and honestly, I loved my master's degree, and I loved the courses because not only it's going to prepare me to become a future principal, right? It has helped me to understand my principles at campus and to become a better teacher in my classroom. I
Okay.
believe it was like a plus from my bachelor degrees courses, pedagogical speaking, and it has immersed me a lot to understand more my bilingual students, the diversity in the classroom, because that's what they were focusing more in my principalships, how to accept all diversity within colleagues, students especially, and how to make the campus to run smoothly and make it positive for everybody. So it's not only for the students, it's in general.
Okay, so let's talk about those two things then. What did you learn that may have surprised you in terms of how to deal successfully with diversity of thought, diversity of background? What did you learn about that?
What I learned is that, first of all, you have to put yourself in their shoes, especially our students, to understand their background, even to study. If you don't know their culture, go ahead and embrace yourself, like in depth, go and search about their culture, what do they believe, what do they like, how do they learn. And that made me like to think a little bit more about it. And if, for example, I know I'm Hispanic, but I learned in one way. I also went myself studying across. I remember my parents, they didn't like the way I was speaking Spanish, so I went to study over there. So putting in that is that diversity because I learned it in one way. But nowadays it's totally different because all families are coming from different families like roots, not only Mexicans, but it's Cubans and all of that, right? So then what I liked in that is that I learned how like all the students, because at one campus that I was working before, the one that I was, they were from Honduras. That's why I'm bringing up Cubans. And I asked each student, how did they learn? What it meant for them.
Okay.
And their parents, what did they believe? So all that, when I came over here with my courses, it came back to me. It kicked me, okay, this is what I learned. So I make all that connection. So that is why I was so surprised when we were reading all those literatures that we had to read in order for me to write an essay or the research, how every culture was different. I mean, we believe that all Hispanics, we believe in one, and we do this, well, for example, our culture practice is the same as all the Hispanics, but no, it's totally different. Even the words are totally different, so the meaning, it's different for them than for us, the Mexicans. So it is what it has caught my attention.
Okay, okay. And then, so you described a little bit your process of choosing a program. What made you feel like this institution was the right place for you to be?
Well, I came to Texas A&M to get my bachelor degrees, including my own children. They came here, and I decided, because I know they offer it at other institutions, but I love Laredo.
Yeah.
Yes, I love Laredo. I'm from here.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to know that Laredo has one of the biggest and best professors and best programs that they can offer. And
Great.
they are like, we are from here, we understand. And Laredo has been embracing more than Mexican cultures. Now we have African Americans, Asians, so it's tremendously here. It is international.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they embrace all the cultures too. That's why I decided to stay here.
And that's wonderful. What was a moment where the support system, the faculty, the administration helped you overcome adversity in your program?
They were very supportive. They're always like, even though it was an online course, they were always there through email, through text messages, and they were always answering your question. If it was not that particular day, but a few hours after or the following day, your email was answered. So it was always supportive. If you have a question, they were always open. That open door policy through the emails, it was so convenient. I love that, being always that in contact with them.
Okay. Well, tell us what's next for you. Where are you
What's
headed
next?
from here?
All right. First of all, well, get certified because I haven't done so yet. That's my goal. And if you ask me if I want to become an assistant principal, yes,
Okay.
I want to.
Okay. She's
Probably-
out there, ladies and gentlemen. She's a candidate.
Hopefully in 1 year, because I want to also, because I love teaching. I love teaching. I'm at a school at LIZ where I've been learning a lot through the students. And I want to continue there probably in a year or so, 1 or 2, latest 2 years, and I'm going to transition into that position.
Okay.
Apply for assistant principal.
All right.
And in the future, probably a principal. I'm
Okay.
ready for it.
Fantastic. Any final thoughts to share with our viewers?
I do recommend everybody to take their courses here at TAMIU. Don't hesitate. They provide any sort of courses. They're opening more and more master degrees, and I believe they're also opening PhD in the future. So that is another one of my goals. I was talking to my husband. Will
Okay.
you support me? He said, yes, okay,
Okay.
whatever you need.
Yeah.
But it's because for learning. It's not for getting more degrees. But I do recommend everybody, if you are from Laredo or from out Laredo, definitely TAMIU has the best sources and the best professors that you can find. And they are totally embedded in our community where, like I just said it before, Laredo and TAMIU have and embraces all type of diversities in communities.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lizzy, for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for
very
your
much.
insights.
Thank you. I love this chat.
We appreciate it. On behalf of Texas A&M International University, the College of Education, and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins, and we appreciate Lizzy. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome from Texas A&M International University, and on behalf of the College of Education and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins, and I'm here with Katherine and Daniela Aleman. Katherine, tell us a little bit about yourself and your program, if you would.
So my name is Katherine Aleman. I am a student, now a graduate student from TAMIU, and I studied EC through 6 elementary with special education emphasis.
What made you choose that particular program?
Special education. So at first, I was a general early learning career. And with time, I just started seeing how, in the classroom, a lot of the accommodations that students need and like the more help that they need. I really liked working with small groups. And I found out about special ed and a resource. So resource is where you're able to more work with the students, like accommodate to how you can help them learn. By providing them with manipulatives, auditory, anything they need, and just focus on the small group. And I really enjoyed that, and it, make a more of a connection with the students. So that's what made me focus on SPED.
What were the ways that TAMIU's administration, faculty, staff welcomed you the best or made you feel the most at home?
A lot of the professors were really nice, really supportive in the from the beginning throughout the semester, and then to the very end to help you with finals. A lot of the co-ed professors, especially, they really help you throughout the process of becoming a teacher, and they're just there to support you, and they don't really push you off or anything. They're there to help you, and they really focus on seeing that growth from you.
Yes. Daniela, what were some of the moments where you saw the most growth from Katherine?
¿Qué fueron los momentos en el que viste más crecimiento de mí?
Desde que inició la carrera ha estado activa y me ha sorprendido lo maravilloso que ha llevado todo este semestre, todos los semestres, toda su carrera, porque no ha habido ningún momento en que no ha dejado de ayudar hacia la comunidad. En vacaciones iba a dar clases, o sea, en todo momento ha crecido y le he visto cómo se ha desarrollado y estoy muy orgullosa de ella. Me encanta su manera de expresarse, de amar a su carrera. Nunca ha estado cansada, siempre ha estado atenta, esforzándose por hacer lo mejor.
Some of what my mom said, she is really proud of how much I've grown in the way that how I express myself and how I've grown in the educational field. That I've been very active throughout my time here at TAMIU, where where I would participate a lot of times to go in the classroom, teach, learn from that, and continue on. And like how much I've grown in loving this career.
How did the faculty at TAMIU help you feel as though you were receiving individualized attention in addition to, and mentorship in addition to your opportunities for classroom study?
What a lot of the times, well, in the classroom, of course, they have to teach everyone, but a lot of my professors took their time and effort to stay hours after class to wait for each individual student who had questions, to help them with anything that they need, especially for assignments and finals. I remember one time one of my co-ed professors stayed until like 2-3 hours after the class, just answering questions, just making sure everybody was ready for the final. And that's where I would get I would feel the most supported, because they really cared for us to be passing the class, to make sure we know content.
That's fantastic. Daniela, what was the moment where you were proudest of your daughter?
¿En qué momento fue en que te sentiste más orgullosa sobre mí?
Siempre.
Always.
Siempre. Es una excelente persona. Como mamá, uno siempre ama y desea lo mejor, y en ella no he visto algo que me defraude. Siempre he tenido la confianza y estoy muy orgullosa de ella en todo momento. Te amo.
Yo también te amo. To translate what my mom said, that she's always been proud of me, that in all the things that I've done, that she's always been proud. She's always been proud of all my accomplishments and all the things that I've done throughout my educational career.
How did TAMIU support your mental well-being and give you opportunities for self-care during a very rigorous academic schedule?
Well, the way that they helped us is mainly for finals, where a lot of the professors might have sometimes clashed the finals, and you'd end up probably having 4-5 finals a day.
Yeah.
And the TAMIU was really understanding and helping separate the finals and working with the professors. That way you wouldn't be all the stress at once, and it would be a day at a time, or maybe 2 at a day. That way, it's not all the stress in one day.
Right.
They would also do a lot of community school events where we could just go in and relax. For example, like finals week, the week before, they do, like throughout the week, they do little activities, like events for students to relax and kind of de-stress before the finals.
What's next for you? What are you looking forward to next?
Looking forward to starting to work. I recently got hired at Freedom Elementary
Congratulations.
Thank you, for a research position for SPED. And I'm looking forward already to getting to know my students and starting already my teaching.
That's wonderful. Well,
Thank
congratulations
you.
again.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate your insights. Thank you for taking the time to
thank
speak
you
with
for
us this
everything.
evening. On behalf of Texas A&M International University, Podcast Architects, the College of Education, I want to thank both of you again for your time, and thank you to the viewer for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Welcome. On behalf of Texas A&M International University, the College of Education, and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins, and I'm here joined by Elda and Belia Guzman. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and the program that you studied.
Okay. So my name is Elda Guzman, and I just recently graduated with my bachelor's in science in elementary education with a bilingual emphasis.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about what what classes did that program involve? What were the high points of the program of study?
So most of the classes, at least the core classes, was very centered around subjects taught in elementary school. So we have our general math studies, our social studies. We did have our ELAR classes, which is English Language Arts, and our reading classes. With a bilingual emphasis, we did have Spanish classes that would reinforce Spanish knowledge that we already had, and even Spanish knowledge that we didn't have, and we had to relearn or learn properly. So that's what it consisted of.
Okay. What made you choose this particular program and TAMIU in general?
The program, I grew up bilingual, so for me it was kind of a no-brainer. I saw bilingual, I'm gonna go right there.
Right.
But for TAMIU, it actually wasn't my first choice, but I'm very happy with choosing TAMIU. If I don't imagine myself graduating from a different university with this. Yeah.
Okay. What were the ways, Belia, what were the ways in which you saw your daughter grow the most during this program?
¿En qué maneras me viste crecer más en este programa?
Ay, pues toda su experiencia en general, tratando con niños, empezó a agarrarles mucho cariño, se dio cuenta de que era lo que ella quería hacer.
She saw me grow throughout my whole experience, getting to see me interact with children and just kind of realizing that it was my passion, that it was something that I liked to do, and just seeing me realize that like through the years.
Self-actualization. Yeah, that's great. In what ways did you feel the most welcomed by the faculty, staff, administration at TAMIU?
Our dean, automatically our dean, 100%.
He's great.
Yes. I remember our orientation because I transferred in from our local college. I transferred, and at our orientation, he was there welcoming everybody with a bright smile that he always has. He was like, "Welcome to TAMIU. This is what we're going to do. What are you majoring in? What are you majoring in?" And just honestly having conversation with someone when you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, and they just give you a sense of comfort and just the reassurance that you need was absolutely amazing.
Beautiful. And then in terms of like moments of adversity, what were some things that you ran into that were different from what you expected, maybe more challenging than you expected? And in what way was the support network the most helpful to you?
So for moments of adversity, I truly felt it my second to last semester here.
Okay.
That's when we start taking our state exams, which is like, we need those to become a teacher, our certification exams. And at first, we like to think of them of, oh, easy peasy, we'll be able to do it. But once we start those reviews and when we start taking the practice exams, those practice exams are pretty difficult. Some of the questions that we get, you're left in blank. Like, we absolutely have no idea how to answer that. Anything that we could have studied doesn't come out on the exam, and you're just left making an educated guess, which is very terrifying at times, especially when your certification is on the line.
Right.
But something that really helped us through that was our testing coordinators that would always tell us, like, you still have a chance. This is a practice exam. This is why we have the practice exams. We just keep growing from here. We learn from our mistakes. We don't go back. So.
Yeah. What was the moment when you were most proud of your daughter?
¿Cuál fue el momento en el que estuviste más orgullosa de mí?
¿Cuál fue el momento? Cuando la veo decidirse en que va a desempeñar la profesión que ella quiere hacer y quiere ayudar a la comunidad y ayudar a otra gente.
When she saw me be sure of my choice in choosing education and seeing me want to help other people, the self-realization of this is what I'm meant to do, I guess her seeing that is her proudest. Like, it's what she's most proud of.
Qué hermoso. What's next for you?
Currently, I already have a job lined up, so
That's wonderful.
thankfully, starting a second grade position in January, and hopefully master's soon.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. What advice would you give to someone considering a program like this one?
To not be scared of making mistakes and just not so much go with the flow, but try your best. If it's not for you, that's okay. You can find another profession. That's totally fine. Not everybody's meant to be the teacher. And if you are, you will realize it. You'll feel it.
Okay.
You have that reassurance. You do.
Wonderful. And then what advice would you give to a family or family member who has a student considering a potential educational track like this one?
¿Qué como consejo le darías a un familiar de alguien como nosotros? O sea, que va a entrar a una escuela y va a entrar de ser maestra.
A ser maestra. Que lo apoyen y que se va a dar cuenta que sí es la profesión al verlo, el empeño que pongan en sus tareas, en sus trabajos, en levantarse a hacer sus tareas que tengan que hacer y exámenes o cosas que tengan que entregar.
She says, just be there for them, be prepared for all moments, good moments, bad moments, when they have to wake up really, really early to take a final or stay up really, really late to study for the certification exam, to just be there for them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for your time. We really appreciate appreciate you stepping away from the ceremony and the insights that you've offered this evening. On behalf of Texas A&M International University, the College of Education, and Podcast Architects, I'm Ben Wiggins saying thank you again. We appreciate you as well, and we'll see you next time. Produced by Podcast Architects.